Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Man Reacts. I found this video the other day, I guess it's from about a week ago, with the Majority Report, Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland. And, very disappointing. Not that I'm surprised. Not that you would be surprised. But let's take a look.
Jimmy Dore on Tucker Carlson's Today Show. And this is Jimmy explaining the dynamic as to why folks like AOC are sellouts, because they're afraid of a challenge from the left.
So what I'm trying to tell people is that when you vote for them, when you vote for somebody inside the Democratic Party, no matter what they say, no matter what they believe, they're going to go along with Nancy Pelosi. And Nancy Pelosi goes along with Goldman Sachs and Raytheon. So when you're voting for someone inside the Democratic Party, you're voting for Goldman Sachs and Raytheon because they are not standing up to those people. So the idea...
Now, to be completely fair here, Jimmy kind of makes a living being hyperbolic, right? But we all know this. So he uses a lot of always and everyone and words like that. I would say that for 99.8% of the time, he's right.
idea that we have progressives inside the Democratic Party, it's actually more deleterious to the progressive movement to have them there. Why is that, Jimmy? Because it gives people a false impression that there's somebody in government fighting for you, that there's one of the parties that are kind of on your side, and they aren't. And the quicker people realize that both parties are not on their side, they only serve the oligarchy, we are in fact in an oligarchy. Your democracy was stolen way before Trump. Until that happens, we won't ever have real change.
And he's not wrong here. What he really means on the Democratic side of the oligarchy is really the DNC. I mean, every Democratic function there is operates independently of the Democratic Party. We know this. The way that they kicked Bernie out, the way that they'll do whatever the fuck they want, like they did with Hillary. It really doesn't matter where the Democratic Party's going. They have their own ideas. And Jimmy's right. Both parties fucking suck for their own reasons, given that, but suck nonetheless. And he's more or less making the argument of why it was detrimental for Biden to be president right now. It makes everyone feel like we already won when we all know ain't shit really gonna change. And that's quoting Biden.
But what about Ocasio-Cortez? She's
so
on Instagram.
Wise. That is so wise.
Ocasio-Cortez.
So wise.
Well, hold on.
Campaign.
I've never heard that.
Go back.
They have a comedian, David Feldman, who is listening in on their Sam and Emma's broadcast.
Go back.
He used the word so wise. It is so wise. Deleterious. He almost pronounced that properly.
What a smug fuck. God, I hate people like that.
But the way I think you come across as smart, Sam, is you steamroll something you've memorized and don't leave any room for questioning. That's how you...
What he's trying to do here is insinuate that that's what Jimmy did, was steamroll his opinion. And I would argue that the way you look smart is to say whatever you need to say, however complicated it may be, in the most simplest, articulate way possible. That's how you sound intelligent. Because not everyone's going to know what the fuck you're talking about if you can't speak to everyone. Right?
Well, I mean, to be fair, now wait a second. You interrupted here because Tucker did question Jimmy. So let's listen to that question.
Okay.
But what about Ocasio-Cortez? She's on Instagram.
Ocasio-Cortez campaigned on a floor vote on Medicare for all.
Facts.
And she campaigned on creating what she called a ruckus, meaning you have to stop being polite. This is a quote. You have to stop being polite. We tried being polite, and it got us nowhere. And it wasn't until we started acting out and speaking impolitely that we even created the circumstances for change. That's what
she said, and she was right then. She was right then. Now, that whole group, well, I don't want to speak for everyone. I don't want to speak in absolutes. But especially I've noticed from AOC, she's playing a good dog right now. She's being a good dog. She's doing what people above her want her to do.
She tweeted. So I'm just doing what she said. So I started to put heat on people like AOC and Rashid Tlaib and Ro Khanna and all the Justice Democrats in the squad to force the vote. And they said I was committing violence against them with my words. That's how scared they got.
They did not.
Were
They did
you?
not say-
Okay, so Emma Vigeland chimes in there and says they did not. Okay, let's look at this. And to be 100% honest, this is on January 1st. And to be 100% honest, it was hard during this to be targeted and marred as some sellout enemy of the people over a tactical disagreement over one floor vote. It was the main fucking reason you were there. The number one reason you were there. Number one. The fucking mission objective was Medicare for all. And then you're going to fucking say it like, over a tactical disagreement over one floor vote? You're just going to act like that? Well, I'm just done. I swear that's her vibe. Also a bummer to see figures excuse comments like, fuck her and fuck anyone who protects her. That's not tone, that's violence. Okay, so this is the tweet that Jimmy's referring to, right? Emma Vigeland chimes in with, no, she didn't. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She's trying to straw man anyone criticizing her. And I'll say it like this. Anyone passionate about Medicare for all, it's probably because they're invested. Them or a family member that's passed needed that fucking policy. And if you're going to get butthurt over people saying something like fuck you and fuck anyone who protects her, we sent you there to stir that shit up. You went there and obeyed. And you're mad that someone's fucking mad. Tough fucking shit. You and Emma. That fucking... I'm gonna get to her in a second. Let's just keep this going.
say
That
that.
sounds good. You really telling them to do what they ran on? That's violence? That's how afraid they were. And all the things. So they had people write hit pieces on me in the New York Magazine, Newsweek, BuzzFeed. They tried to shut me down and squelch me. They made me trend on Twitter negatively. But they couldn't shut me up. And they couldn't stop me. And they don't know what to do with me. Because, again, all the usual...
The question was directed at him.
They have Wikipedia putting smears on me that I can't get rid of. CNN's calling me. It's unbelievable what's going on. Just a comedian, a pothead comedian in his garage. What you can do when you want to tell the truth inside journalism and politics, and you can create a ruckus. And I did. And so now everybody sees that those people are fakers. And they're corrupt.
Fantastic.
And the reason why I say they're corrupt is not because they take corporate money and do the bidding of corporations.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the height of intellectualism. When you say, I'm just a comedian, I'm just a...
You love how this guy, doesn't actually bring up anything he fucking said. He just wants to criticize him on an intellectual level for the way that he pronunciates a word or for his delivery.
A moron. I'm just a D's, Dems, and Does guy. That's convincing to me. How is it that I'm a fucking idiot, but I'm getting it right, even though I'm a...
Exactly, bro. It's funny that Emma thinks that's funny. It's funny that this guy's making a joke out of the obvious fucking facts that all of your audience knows. Why are y'all giving a fuck about what some pothead comedian has to say? Why does it bother you so fucking much? I think I know why. Let's look at something. You ready for the big reveal? Are you ready? Da, 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 da. So this is TYT's website, right? Where you can like sign up. And Sam Seder is on that website. He's part of the network. Now, if you know Emma Vigeland at all, then you know she used to be with TYT, correct? Okay. She left to be with TYT, or she left from TYT, I'm sorry, in December 2020. So let's take a look here. Or it might have been early 2020, sorry. Yeah, they talked about giving her a big emotional send-off and blah, 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 blah. Who fucking cares? Somehow I find her 10 times more insufferable than Sam Seder. And Sam Seder wants to make me hurt myself. He's that fucking boring. God, bro. In a way, I kind of hate to play his videos just to fucking bore you that bad.
Fucking idiot. That's brilliant.
Well,
You know what? I salute him. That is such a great rhetorical device. I'm a fucking stupid comic. I'm a moron. I don't read. You know, I don't know anything. How come
I know for a
I'm
fact
so
he doesn't
smart?
read.
well, you know,
Huh?
to be fair,
To be fair, y'all are fucking jokes. Like, they don't notice, again, they don't actually talk about anything that he talked about. They're just attacking him personally, as a person.
he's probably convinced a lot of Tucker Carlson's viewers that AOC isn't the person that she says she is. That's probably he's probably been able to sort of like bring people around on AOC who watch Tucker Carlson. But continue, Eric, because he's got a very
So the point he tries to make right there is, what good does it do you going on Tucker Carlson talking shit on AOC? Because the whole audience already feels that way. Well, when he goes out there and agrees with them about something that has a lot of room for criticism, like the fact that AOC looks 180 degrees different than she did a year and a half ago. And you're going to ignore the fact that Jimmy went out there and said both parties are shit. Both parties are fucked. And none of those parties are out looking for you. They're not looking out for you.
very interesting theory. He makes it
But
clear.
here's the thing that you don't understand. Before you play this brilliant mind, this
I don't know who this dude is, this David Feldman dude, but he is a smug fuck. I do not enjoy hearing anything he's got to say.
well-read policy nerd, because that's what he is. Before you play that, what you fail to understand is focus. Jimmy understands focus. You're all over the map. Jimmy has isolated who the enemy is, AOC.
You know, this guy's being really obtuse right now. And aside from that last statement about AOC being the main enemy, he's actually right on that. About, here's how TYT sucks. Here's why shows like the Majority Report suck. And here's why I've came to the fucking conclusion that shows like the Secular Talk fucking suck. And here's why. Are you ready? They never use their fucking power when they have it. Never. 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 Never, never, never. Go on the Majority Report and find me how many videos they have of supporting local or nationwide protest. And I'm not talking about covering the event. I'm talking about getting their supporters to the event. Find me that on TYT. Find me that on Secular Talk. I guarantee you, I could count those videos on this hand. Out of the fucking thousands of videos, I could count them on one fucking hand. And again, I'm not talking about a review of the event or the fact that CNN's not covering the event. I'm talking about getting some of your base to the event. How many times have you requested that of your audience? My next question would be, then what's the fucking point of you? We thought the way that you talked, and I'm including the Majority Report, TYT, Secular Talk, Humanist Report, all of you fucks. The way that y'all have talked over the years is nothing like the way you talk when it fucking matters. You're all a part of a network. Go back and watch some older videos of TYT and tell me Sank doesn't sound like, or Jank, sorry. Tell me he doesn't sound like a fucking Disney villain. He still is. He still fucking is. He wants to be the next CNN. He wants to be the next channel network. I'm telling you, it's all business for this dude. And anyone who associates with him. At this point, you are adopting his views. And I include that for shows that I like. The Humanist Report, I used to really like you. I don't like the fact that you're associated with him anymore, bro. I'm honestly not going to... I can't support you anymore because of that. You got to understand that. And the fact that you're associated with them, you don't cover their shit. I could say the same thing for the Majority Report. They don't cover TYT shit. I could say the same thing for David Dole. And it's almost like TYT just said, hey, let's avoid criticism by scooping up all these little channels. Making them a part of the network, giving them some more subscribers, giving them a little more foundation. And that way we can just say whatever the fuck we want. And fucking blackball whoever the fuck we want. And since Jimmy Dore used to be associated with TYT, that loving video they gave when he left, it's starting to sound more like that was hey, let's keep the secrets between us, you know, buddy. Doesn't it sound like that now? Let's keep going with this fucking train wreck.
AOC, and that is so wise on his part to focus on the most powerful person in Washington, D.C., who she could wake up tomorrow, AOC, and decide, you know what? I do want Medicare for all, and I want it yesterday. And she can go do that. That's how powerful she is. He knows who.
There was a march the other weekend for Medicare for all. Actually, one of these events was happening near where AOC was going to be. I think she may have tweeted about it like on the day of or the day before. But there was organizers online, and I forget where I saw this at, or the lady's name who was organizing the event. Nationwide, every city in every state, or cities in every state. You couldn't get AOC to say shit about it. You couldn't. I mean, fuck, the only video that Secular Talk did on it was the fact that no one else covered it like CNN or mainstream. I think Kyle may have said one thing about it. But that's like back to my point. Here's the argument they make. What more do you want from me? There's other news. There's other things going on. When you know in your fucking heart that Medicare for all is the biggest, most important issue for substantial change in the country. For everyone. You know that. Y'all know that. And you're giving off such heavy fucking MSNBC vibes now, Kyle. You, the Majority Report, TYT, fucking all y'all. Rational National, God, y'all just sound like another fucking breathing piece. And you really think you're that different? You don't talk like it. The fact that you avoid such obvious fucking problems, and the guy talks about. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's keep going.
Who the oligarchs are? He used the term oligarchs. He knows that only a few people control politics in Washington, D.C. He knows unlike you, he knows who the power players are. The Squad. You don't see that the Squad is the most powerful? They're like the Trilateral Commission and the Bilderberg Group into one.
Okay. He's being, again, very facetious, but he's being a smartass, but he's actually telling the truth. So he makes fun of like how influential AOC is, right? 12.7 million followers on Twitter. 12.7 million in a category of audience goers that typically don't turn out to vote. The majority of her followers do not or did not turn out to vote prior to following her. And you want to sit there and make fun of the fact that she don't have any power? And you want to like gaslight people into thinking it's ridiculous for Jimmy to think that she can actually do anything? She fucking can. And that's then what's the point? What's the point of anything if she can't do it? Back to the point Jimmy was making, it's so much more detrimental to the party to think that someone's in there fighting for us. It's all just show. And we're so sick and tired of it, bro. We're so sick and tired of it. The civility that shows like the Majority Report want to act like they fucking have, like Kyle wants to act like he had. And don't get me wrong, I used to be a fan of secular talk. I used to fucking love it. And I think Kyle does a great job of like covering some stories. He does, even still. But the fact that you can't even cover TYT shit unbiasedly, I can't trust you, bro. I can't trust you. You broke your principles. The second you said on your video that it doesn't matter that a former Republican senator donated $20 million to TYT and invested that, the fact that you said you didn't think that changed the way they reported news. Who the fuck are you, man? Who are you? You're nothing what I thought you were. I guess if you're there long enough, you do become the villain. And some of these people really are. They're mad that Jimmy Dore's stepping up.
We need to hammer AOC and Pramila Jayapal every single day. And the fact that they're women of color, that's irrelevant.
God, give me a fucking break.
Well,
we need to hammer the Squad.
To
Sam.
be fair, he also said Ro Khanna.
You know that women of color, or Ro Khanna of color, they are the most powerful people in Washington, D.C. Jimmy's going after the oligarchs.
Yeah. Hey, David, is this
and the Squad? They're the most powerful people.
Well, okay.
They're the only.
They are, though. They are. You can't pass fucking anything with that Squad right now. If the Squad stays together and they vote as a block, you can't pass shit. So that does make them the most powerful group in Washington, you ignorant fuck.
Thing that's keeping us
David,
from Medicare for all.
Yes, okay. Let's hear Jimmy's explanation of their corruption. It is not the corporate corruption that the Justice Democrats have. Go back a little bit. This is an important point I think he's trying to make here.
couldn't shut me up and they couldn't stop me. And they don't know what to do with me because, again, all the usual, they have Wikipedia
Pause it.
putting
Hold on one
smears
second. Since we're here, David, when he says they don't know what to do with me, like what do they need to do something with him?
Don't you wake up every morning and say, what are we going to do about Jimmy Dore?
I mean, I do.
That's the whole.
Of course.
I'll bet I'll bet money on it that Sam Seder has said that before. I'll bet money.
But I mean,
Haven't you been following?
Well, we don't
going
need
on with
to.
the Young Turks?
Wow.
I haven't been following that as much as I probably
You
should.
don't wake up every morning.
Let's go back there. Did you see how quick he fucking turned it? Watch this. Watch this. When he realized, like, oops. We're on TYT Network. Oops.
Turks.
Wow.
I haven't been following that as much as I probably
You
should.
don't wake up every morning. You haven't donated.
I haven't been following that as much as I probably should. You liar, bro. You are such a liar. You know every detail of that story. You're in the Young Turks network, bro. Don't tell me you and Cenk didn't have a conversation. Don't tell me that. You think you really think your audience is that stupid? That stupid. Don't tell me that you and Emma didn't have a conversation about how are we going to spin this? How are we going to make this look better for Mom and Pop? Anna and Cenk. Now remember, Emma used to be with TYT. They're all still close. They're all friends. And Sam Seder's so thirsty to have any kind of leadership over there. Any kind of leadership.
Hours of your air. My entire show, my 16 hour, I spent 16 hours a day talking about Kyle Kalinski's tepid response to Jimmy's attack on Cenk Uygur, because we can't have Medicare for all until we resolve this dispute between the Young Turks and Jimmy.
So that's called gaslighting, right? They're making you think, it's that argument like, there's worse problems in the world, so why are we even worrying about this? The joke he makes about, well, I spend 16 hours a day watching Kyle Kalinski, so blah, 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 blah. You know, people have been watching him for years, myself included. 4 years. And at one point, I'd have bet money that if Kyle got the chance, he'd go to bat. And here he is with almost 1 million followers talking just like TYT. Here the majority report is with a little over 1 million talking just like MSNBC. They've been consumed, bro. They're consumed. They are no longer independent media. They are not independent. They are literally in a network. They are not independent. Do you understand that? Stop expecting shit out of Sam Seder. He will disappoint you. Emma Vigeland will disappoint you. Anna Kasparian, Cenk Uygur, Kyle Kalinski. And if the Humanist Report doesn't say something or disband from TYT soon, I'm done with him as well too. I don't trust anybody in your network. I don't trust that they will fairly report anything that has anything to do with them or anyone they're tied with. And they prove that over this entire drama with Jimmy, and that's why that's important. That's why the Jimmy thing is important. Because y'all are going full fucking mask off. Full mask off on this. And that's why everybody's so mad. And you want to act like that's not justified? You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
Okay.
And
now-
you don't understand that.
Okay, but
I want Medicare
But
for
wait,
all,
wait,
but
wait.
we can't have Medicare
But
for
who
all
is the
until we destroy
they
AOC
doesn't
and
know
the
what
Young
to do?
Turks.
Who is the they that doesn't know what to do with Jimmy? Is it the Young Turks don't know what to do, Jimmy, or the people? in
All of
Congress?
us.
Okay.
All of us.
At least you
Oh,
got
is that
something right.
powerful?
Let's play. Let's continue to play.
Me that I can't get rid. CNN's calling me. It's unbelievable what's going on. Just a comedian, a pothead comedian in his garage. What you can do when you want to tell the truth inside journalism and politics, and you can create a ruckus. And I did. And so now everybody sees that those people are fakers and they're corrupt. And the reason why I say they're corrupt is not because they take corporate money and do the bidding of corporations, but they're
'Cause you
doing
can't
the
prove
bidding of
that.
their own career, right? Their own self-dealing.
Yeah.
So if I go along with the establishment, I'm going to get a book deal, I'm going to get speaking fees, and I'm going to be in Congress for at least 5 years, and then I get a pension.
God, Sam Cedar's mouth is watering, bro. Book deals, Congress.
For the rest of my life. That is corrupt, and that's why they're not pushing back. Because Nancy Pelosi can come in and crush you. Hey, we'll fund somebody in a primary to your left, just like she did to Joe Crowley, AOC, right? So that's what they're all afraid of. They're afraid of the power of the establishment taking away what little power and that they have in Congress.
Now,
Yes,
David, let me ask you
AOC.
wait.
Sorry, Pelosi
That's
is
pretty
funding.
wise stuff
Yeah.
coming from a guy in his garage who's got the door shut and the engine running, suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning. I mean, that's pretty wise stuff.
This guy obviously doesn't know who Jimmy Dore is. Or he's never like looked into Jimmy Dore. He just like heard people say something about him through someone else. To say that he's the crazy one is like, bro, you're an idiot.
Is Nancy
That's a
Pelosi
real truth teller.
Nancy
The guy
Pelosi
in his garage smoking pot with the door shut and the engine running.
How many times?
This sounds like a fucking boomer broadcast, straight up. This guy is so out of touch with modern day, bro.
Does Nancy
pretty
Pelosi,
smart stuff.
David, how many times has Nancy Pelosi mounted a challenge to an incumbent from their left?
What did Crowley do to make her fund AOC?
Crowley? Did he say Crowley was
he said
a lefty?
I think I think
I love how Sam had to throw that from the left in there because he knows that Nancy Pelosi does go against incumbent people from the right. So what are you doing, Sam? What are you correcting the fact that no, Pelosi doesn't do that. She does the other thing. You're dumb, Jimmy. Oh my God.
the idea
He was
that
trying to say that AOC primaried Crowley from the left, and that that's going to happen to her, but Pelosi's going to be the one funding the leftist challenger.
So wait a second. Should we be rooting for Pelosi?
So it'd be a
And you think that's irrational?
false flag operation.
Wait, but
Yeah.
That
should
would be
we
a false flag
rooting
operation.
for Pelosi?
Is he selling boner pills? Does he sell boner pills too?
Should we be rooting for Pelosi to fund left challenges to the leftmost? I mean, I'm sort of in favor of that.
Yeah, I hope Pelosi does that.
Yeah,
That
base
would be
Pelosi.
good. But now now David,
You know that if I know they're being smartasses, but you know that if Pelosi ever did that, it wouldn't actually be someone from the left. It would be someone dressed as someone from the left who wouldn't do shit. Even more so than AOC. So why are you why are you wasting your energy going after Jimmy? Why? You got over 1 million followers to do something, you lazy turds.
I think you know, probably because you are in show business and have had wild success as a show business person, that
You're
if
welcome.
AOC,
You're welcome.
Yes,
I just want to say you're welcome for all that I've given.
there's been a lot of things I'm sure that you have been peripherally involved in that I've enjoyed.
Yes, your show of shows, the Eddie Cantor show.
Right? I remember it. Well, I mean, I saw it at a museum once. But listen, AOC would, if she,
the most powerful person in the world. Yes.
if she were to lose her seat, she'd never get a book deal, right? She would never.
No.
She would not. She would have a tough time making money. She'd probably have to go back to bartending. Is that your sense?
If Jimmy says that, I think it's true. I
David,
trust the D's and Dems guy who's
Did you see how he didn't even get the joke? But the only way he knew what to say was like, well, if, again, when he says, I agree with Jimmy, he's doing that smart ass thing where he's like, oh, yeah, of course Jimmy's right. And he's like, oh, well, if Jimmy said that, then yeah. Like, you didn't even get what the fuck he was saying.
never read a book in his life and has to hire writers and smokes dope and attacks women of color.
and maybe some
I
other
trust
things.
that guy.
David, why do you?
Because everyone knows that if you're a woman, and especially if you're a woman of color or a person of color, that you can't do wrong. Everybody knows that.
Think that he didn't mention Medicare for all in this segment in studio on Tucker's daytime program, or
He actually did. If you go back, he does talk about it. He does say, why didn't AOC do more for Medicare for all and force the vote? Then that's when he got into the me's and the I's.
really the Republican Party, for all we know.
Emma. Have you ever heard of three-dimensional chess?
I do. I remember it.
Have you?
I remember it from being
Jimmy-
discussed many times, but in the Obama administration.
Jimmy Dore is playing three-dimensional diarrhea.
Is that a game?
This is way beyond. Yeah, it's way beyond. It's a level of politics beyond your grasp.
Can I try?
Three-dimensional.
Do you see how funny they think that is? The word diarrhea. These people are fucking children. They are grown-ass children. They're only in it for themselves. This is honestly one of the dumbest fucking segments I've ever seen. And again, I only really started becoming a fan of Jimmy here recently. I've been watching him for years. I was never really a fan of anyone political. Kind of fucks your bias up, right? But he's been going through an extra lot of awful people talking shit. And this year has masked off so many fucking people. And for that, Jimmy, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to you for that. Now, are you an asshole? You're fucking right. You are an asshole. And could you probably get more bees with honey? Probably. But it's your fucking show. It's your channel. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. And the second you start to slip up, I'll fucking criticize you too. As we all should. The second I fuck up, do the same. But this is fucking garbage. This is absolute garbage. These people call themselves independent media while being suspended in a network. What, bro? Bro, y'all have a good one. Thanks for sitting through this fucking boring ass video with me. I'll see you guys real soon. Be easy.